Hey everyone, my name is Shawn Halim, and I was a guitarist and a vocalist on the Urbana 2022 Worship Team. I'm an Indonesian American based in Arcadia, California, and currently I work as the music director of a company called Alabaster and as the worship and media director of a new church in Temple City. So a little bit about my music and faith journey. I started classical piano lessons at the age of 4, and I was a kid that really enjoyed singing. I grew up going to a pretty conservative Indonesian church and then moved to a majority white Presbyterian church. That church happened to have an Indonesian worship leader who really took me under his wing and gave me my first experience at playing a keyboard, at playing a synthesizer. So from then on, I really fell in love with playing pop music. I started picking up guitar, playing bass, playing drums, you name it. And I started to lead worship around high school. I led at my church's youth group and at the Christian fellowship that met at my high school. My church was pretty conservative when it came to worship, while my high school Christian fellowship was pretty charismatic, so a little bit of both worlds. I attended the University of Southern California for college, and I studied popular music with an emphasis in keyboards, and that was my first experience of InterVarsity. I joined InterVarsity and was introduced to this whole new concept of multicultural worship, and I really fell in love with it. I believe multi-ethnic and multicultural worship is so important because it gives us a chance to celebrate how unique and how diverse God has created each one of us to be. And multicultural worship is scripturally based. It gives us a chance to share in God's heart for all nations, all peoples, all tribes, all tongues, all of creation, to worship God for who He is. It's why I love leading worship at places like InterVarsity and especially at Urbana. Not many Christian environments that I've been around are so accepting of the gift and the blessing of multicultural worship. Now, I've been to 3 Urbanas, 2015 as a student and 2018 and 2022 as a worship team member. And my main takeaway from Urbana 22 was this: that amidst all the adversity, amidst all the obstacles and challenges that we've been through for the past couple years, God is still at work. Even though we may not see it, God is still at work, there is still hope, and we still have a chance to partner with God in bringing His kingdom to earth. So I'm here to teach you the guitar part for one of my favorite songs from the Urbana 22 worship set, which is We Lift Your Name. So let's get right into it. So let's start off with a little bit of nerdy guitar talk. I'm using a thin line Telecaster, and for this song, I was all on the bridge pickup here, so we're just going to stay there. And I'm connected my guitar to a Line 6 Helix floor pedal board, which is honestly one of the best purchases that you could ever make. It's really versatile. There's a bunch of screens on there so you can actually see what you're doing and how you're setting up your tones and things like that. And yeah, there's just a lot going on here. So let me just show you what I have here. So on my Helix, for this song in particular, I have 3 basic snapshots going on here. So I have my first snapshot is the first, the intro, the big lead sort of, the first big lead tone there. And then you have the second snapshot, a clean sort of tone for your first verse, which sounds like this. It's really nice and clean, nothing to it. And then finally, I have another snapshot for the second verse, which is kind of this chunkier sort of tone here. So it sounds like this. So that's something that you can use for verse 2. So those are the tones that I've used for this song, and I will link this patch probably to this video so you can see what's going on. You can download it and put it into your Helix pedal board. So, a little tutorial on how to actually play this. So there's a couple different sections of the song. I'll kind of go through them slowly at first and then at full speed so you can hear what it sounds like. So again, with this first intro, we'll be on the lead big sort of patch. And there's basically 2 parts to this intro. this first part, and then the second part, which is just 2 frets down. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with the 11th and 12th frets, and basically these 2 fingers, your first 2 fingers. And you're going to be on the 2nd and 3rd string, the B and G. So you're going to place your first finger, your index finger, as a bar on the 2nd and 3rd strings on the 11th fret, just like this. And then you're going to place your second finger, your middle finger, on the 12th fret of the 2nd string, just like this. So it starts with a slur, or a pull-off in what we call guitar terms. And what a pull-off is basically you're pulling off from one note and you're descending, you're going down into the next note. So we'll start with the 12th and we're going to pull off into the 11th fret of the 2nd string. So it's going to sound like this. Just like that. I'm just lifting my 2nd finger. And then we're going to pluck the 3rd string. And those are the 3 notes that you're going to have for this first part. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And that's one sequence, and you're going to do that twice. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you're just going to do the same thing 2 frets down. So on the 10th and the 9th frets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So at full speed, it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's just the intro. And let's go to the verse. So for the verse, you're going to be between 4 chords. First, you have your B, and then your A, C sharp minor, and E or E minor. I guess there's 5 chords. Depends on the sequence of the verse. So first you're going to have E, and then E minor. And for this, we're going to have that verse clean tone, and you're just going to play open notes here. We're just going to kind of arpeggiate the chord, and we're just going to let the notes ring. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with that first B chord. I actually don't bar this B chord. I leave it kind of open because I'm only playing a couple notes from it. So you're going to go, I'm going to start with the root and just kind of let that ring. 1, 2, 3, and let that ring. And you're going to do the same thing with the A chord. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And then the C sharp minor. And then same thing with the E or E minor. Let's open E, and sometimes you go to E minor, like that. So the verse goes like this. As we love on you, receive our love, receive our love. As we shout your name, receive our praises, receive our praises. And you can kind of interchange that E major and E minor chord. So that's the verse. And then our chorus. Our chorus is just like the intro, except we're adding one more sequence, and that's going to be on the 5th and 4th frets, but it's the same exact shape. So you're going to start with the 12th and 11th. Just like the intro, go down to the 10th and 9th. And then you're going to go down to the 5th and 4th frets, and same thing. And then you're going to do that twice. So in the chorus, it goes just those 4 kind of sequences, I guess. So the chorus will sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Your name is high. Be glorified. You are great. You are great. Greatly to be praised. And then you're going to repeat that as the chorus. Okay? And then the second verse is just like the first verse, except you're going to switch to this chunky verse sort of patch. And what you're going to do is you're going to do a technique called palm muting. If you don't know what that is you basically place, I like to place my palm kind of right around here, this meaty area of your hand, and you're going to place that on the bridge, and you're going to kind of half mute the strings. So it has this sort of sound. And it kind of gets, the sound gets kind of muted off, just gets kind of cut off. So you're going to do that and with the verse chords. So you're going to start with B, and you're going to go to A, C sharp minor, E. Just like that. And that's going to be your second verse. Okay, and finally, the last part of the song is the bridge, and we're still going to stay on that big lead patch, that first patch that you have. And this bridge is a little bit tricky, but if it gives you any consolation, it's the same part, just in different octaves. So we're going to start with the lower octave of the guitar part, and we're going to be playing with the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 6th frets of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th strings. Okay, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th frets of the 3rd, 4th, 5th strings. So we're going to start with the 6th fret, 5th string, and you're going to go 6, 5, 3, 5. Okay, so that's the first part. We'll do that again. 6, 5, 3, 5. Notice what strings I'm switching to. And then we're going to go 6. This is the next part. 6, 5, 3, 5. Okay, let me try that again. 6, 5, 3, 5. Okay, so when you play it all together, it sounds like this. Here's the first part. On 6, and then you're going to play that note 3 more times. Da, da, da. And that's the first part. I'll go in real time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. And the bonus part is if you can do another slur, but this time we're going to do a hammer on from the 3rd to the 5th fret of the 4th string. So what that's going to sound like if you add the hammer on, just like that. And so with the whole hammer on sequence, it sounds like this. So you basically do that hammer on anytime you're going to the 5th fret of the 4th string. Okay. Now the next part of the bridge, as you go on throughout the bridge, you jump up to the higher octave of the guitar. And you're going to do the same line. Da, 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 da. But now we're going to do it the octave higher. So for that one, you're going to be playing with the 6th, 7th, and 8th frets of the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. So you want to get your hand kind of in that general position. We're going to start with the 8th fret of the 3rd string. Okay? And you're going to go to the 8th fret of the 2nd string, 6th fret, 7th fret of the 3rd string. And then same thing. And then we're going to go to 8, 8, 6th fret of the 1st string, 7, 8, 8, 6, 7, 8. And then you're going to do that same note 3 times. Da, da, da. Just like that. So we're going to do that slow, but put it all together. Notice what strings I'm playing for the different frets. 8, 8, 6, 7, 8, 8, 6, 7, 8, 8, 6, 7, 8. You got it. So when we put it all together, it's going to sound like this at full speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, da da da, just like that. And you're going to repeat that. And same thing, you're going to add that hammer on every time you go to the 8th fret of the 2nd string. So you're going to hammer on from the 6th fret to the 8th, just like that. So you're going to pluck the string once, but play those 2 notes in succession, just like that. So with the hammer on now, the part goes like this. Like that. And there's your whole song. That's all of the different parts, and once you play with the song, you can put all those parts together. So if you've made it to the end of the video, congratulations. Hopefully this video was helpful and informative as you learn the guitar parts till we lift your name. And to those who are watching who are worship leaders or guitarists, I just want to give you one final encouragement. Don't ever give up on what is difficult. Don't ever give up on what's hard or challenging or maybe makes you feel uncomfortable at times, because in the end, it will be all the more rewarding. Finally, if you have any more questions, feel free to drop it down in the comments below this video, and hopefully we can get you sorted out. May God bless you as you continue on in this worship journey. See you guys.